Hello, I'm Dr. Don Buckstein of the PBL Institute. Today we're going to discuss PBL techniques for the virtual setting. We're glad you're interested in problem-based learning. According to Forbes, October 2019, problem-based learning may be the best method of sharing information to change behavior. But all interactive learning environments may have their share of challenges, and problem-based learning is no different. Effective problem-based learning requires a skilled facilitator that understands how to engage an audience, encourage discussion, and from time to time address our over-contributors. Next, we'll talk about tactics that skilled facilitators may use in the problem-based learning environment. Test your environment. Problem-based learning is a very interactive method of teaching and learning. When we move to the virtual environment, the facilitator has to focus on group engagement and not be distracted by technical issues. This means testing the equipment, the computer, the microphone, the camera, and the software being used to deliver the PBL case. We have to remember it's not only important for the facilitator to test their setup, but it's also important to clearly and repeatedly remind the session's participants they should test their computer or their mobile device or their microphone and their camera prior to the virtual PBL session. For the best experience, we recommend connecting on a desktop or a laptop, followed next by an iPad, and lastly by a mobile device such as a phone. Connecting with a phone can really limit the ability for participation and may create some additional distractions. Be seen. Use body language. It's important for problem-based learning case facilitators to be seen by the virtual session attendees. Just as a facilitator would use body language in a live person environment, it can be effectively used in a virtual environment when seen by virtual session attendees. When a facilitator opens their hands to the group and provides a nonverbal communication to the group, inviting commentary and encouraging conversations about the subject at hand, they can use key phrases such as, "How do you interpret this information? What do the rest of you think?" A skilled facilitator will not only use their hands, but their body to invite conversation and commentary. It's equally important while inviting commentary for a facilitator to be non-intimidating to the group. The use of silence, also called the 7-second rule. In a non-intimidating manner, a facilitator may use silence to inspire conversation or group engagement. It is well documented that silence is uncomfortable for most of us. So when a facilitator is silent for about 7 seconds, typically a group member will begin to engage. Reflection. Said another way, act like a mirror. In a problem-based learning session, it's not about the facilitator, it's about the group. It's the job of the facilitator to ask questions, listen to the group's answers, restate or make corrections to the answers, and when necessary, use the prior tactic of reduction and refocusing the conversation. In the virtual environment, the use of silence and reflection is very important. While it may feel repetitive to the facilitator, it's extremely important to use the tactics of silence and reflection in the virtual environment. And they can effectively be used together. Unlike the in-person environment, it may be difficult for a session participant to gauge their participation. And without a doubt, at points within the virtual session, participants will experience latency or connection issues. So reflection is used to make sure participants are all on the same page. the triangle of different opinions. This is where the facilitator will identify two session participants and will set up a scenario with differing viewpoints and invite the two identified individuals to discuss their differences of opinion. The facilitator will encourage others to participate and by asking for supporting or differing opinions. Sound, or more accurately, changing the tone or level that the facilitator speaks, can serve as a tactic to engage the group. Refocus. In all groups and conversations, we lose focus. This can be a challenge in the problem-based learning environment also. A skilled facilitator will recognize when a group has lost focus on a topic at hand and will ask questions to set up or redirect and refocus that conversation. Dealing with over-contributors. It can be as simple as the facilitator saying, "We've heard a lot from John. We'd like to get the thoughts from others. What do the rest of you think?" In a more extreme cases, it may be necessary for the facilitator to address overactive contributors prior to the session. It can be approached by stating to the individual, "We know that you're an expert in this, but we want to encourage others to share their thoughts." Because the virtual environment is generally more structured than the live environment, when a facilitator reviews the session's participants and can identify potential over-contributors, the facilitator can email or call and ask them for their assistance in getting the entire group's opinion. Our final tactic that we're going to discuss today is how to address comments on off-label use of products. A facilitator should clearly and quickly recognize the comments related to off-label use of products and state the FDA's indication for the product and that it is an off-label use that's being discussed. After the facilitator has addressed the off-label use comments, the facilitator then states, "The remainder of this discussion, we should all focus on-label use only for these products." Thank you for your interest in problem-based learning, and we're looking forward to working with you.